All right, what's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another press conference reaction. We play Burnley, 2 o'clock kickoff at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Big game this weekend, especially with the teams around us all playing each other again. It's happening week in, week out. So, I mean, we just got to win this game. There's just no two ways about it. We have to win this game.
It's a massive game. Mourinho knows the pressure's on. After a favourable Europa League draw earlier today, we're going to face Dynamo Zagreb, which is a good draw for us, but we can't let our Premier League form continue the slide we're on. 3 wins in 12 simply isn't good enough, and we all know that, and Jose knows that. And it's a good chance to get back to winning ways this weekend. And if we can get a win, maybe we can build some momentum. And that's what that's what it's all about. With injuries coming back and the squad coming back to full health again, we need to get that good feeling back. But it's imperative that we win this weekend.
Yeah, so there's been a lot said in this press conference. Just let me let you know how this video is going to be structured, how this stream is going to be structured today. So for the first part of the stream, we'll be going through every single word that Jose Mourinho has said in his press conference. And then after that, we'll be taking calls from you guys out there. Gold members, actually, we're going to be opening this up to everyone. So the link will be in your community section in about 15, 20 minutes when we finish going through the press conference. But yeah, we've got 140 people watching, 150 now people watching at the moment. Keep smashing that like button, keep smashing that subscribe button, and let's get straight into it.
All right. So first of all, the first question Mourinho was asked in his press conference today was, what did you make out of the Europa League draw and getting Dynamo Zagreb rather than Arsenal or Man United? He responded by saying, when you're in this competition, you get to this stage, you don't get easy clubs. If you want to win it, sooner or later, you have to play against the best clubs or the ones who go through the different stages. So the objective is now to win against Dynamo, and then later, if Arsenal and Man United are still in the competition, we will have always to face them. I think it happened in the Champions League final. There were 2 English clubs, and in the Europa League final with Chelsea and Arsenal too. It's something that can happen. If it does, it's wonderful for us, and if we are one of the teams involved, and wonderful for English football with 2 teams in the final. But in this moment, 16 teams, everybody wants the same. So it's very premature to think about it. Dynamo, they have beaten Krasnodar twice. Krasnodar is a Russian team that's never easy to play against. I played in Russia many times, and it's never easy, and they beat them twice in the group stages. They won the group and they beat Wolfsberger, but also Feyenoord and CSKA Moscow. They are in their European competitions every season. I played against them for Real Madrid in the Champions League. Croatian football is Croatian football. Lots of talented players. They're a footballing country, good stadiums. But I think we're going to play there as well. Not a difficult flight, not too far. I have a lot of positive feelings, a lot of positive things, but the most important thing is that we get to the quarterfinals. So yeah.
I mean, just things you expect him to say, really.
Yeah, it didn't really give much. I didn't really say much about it, but I think everyone's feeling the same in terms of we avoided a lot of the bit important teams. A lot of the big teams kind of drew each other as well, and I think it's a good draw for us. And obviously, he's not going to come out and say it's an easy draw because that would be very counterproductive to what we want going into this tie. But I think he's definitely acknowledging that, we could have gotten a harder draw, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And when he says I'm feeling a lot of positive things, I think he's hinting that, he's I think it was a good draw for us. And I think it's not, when he says a good, easy flight and stuff like that, I think he's acknowledging that it's a good draw.
Yeah, I think, look, when you've looked at the teams, what you could have got, I think it's one of the best ties I think we could have got. When you look at Man U playing Milan, Arsenal playing Olympiacos. I know Arsenal went out to Olympiacos last year, so it's not exactly the easiest tie, is it?
And also in terms of a trip as well. Like, you don't want to be going for a long flight, especially when we've got North London Derby coming up. And also, it's important to add, we didn't say in our Europa League stream, but the tie apparently is now going to be reversed. So because Arsenal and Spurs were both drawn at home on the same day, according to UEFA rules, that's not allowed to happen. In the last round, Spurs game was moved to a Wednesday because apparently when it's a seeded draw, that's allowed to happen. But from then on, it's not allowed to happen. So the draws have now been reversed, and Spurs are playing at home first, and Arsenal will be playing the home leg second. So Spurs won't be travelling to Croatia before we play Arsenal. We're playing the first leg at home just before the Arsenal game. So I think that's a bonus for us.
I agree.
that
Look,
sense.
I mean, with them traveling all the way around Europe to Greece and back before the tie with us, and we're just down the road in North London, I think that's a massive plus for us. I really do.
Yeah, and obviously it's always better to play home the second leg. That's the theory. But I think when there's no fans and stuff like that, it doesn't really make too much of a difference if you're home or away first leg. And I think the travel time is going to be crucial when it comes to facing Arsenal in the North London derby on that Sunday. That we don't have a round trip, a big round trip to go to. We'll be coming from London, so that's important. All right, next question. Is Dele Alli showing that he's reaching the level where he can help the team for the rest of the season? He was asked. Mourinho responded, one of my players, Eric Dier, told me something like individual performances are not very good when the collective performances are not good. And he's right. That goes in both directions. When the team plays well, it's easier for players to perform well. And when players perform well, then the team plays well collectively. So I agree with Eric in relation to Dele. When you have players performing like he did, it's easier for the team to play well. And when the team is playing well, it's easier for players to perform individually. I'm happy with him. Difficult period, sometimes small injuries and accumulation, more difficult than a big injury, where after a few weeks or months you are back. Small injuries are mentally not good. Players getting disappointed, lack of motivation, frustration. He went through all of that. He came back. We had a good conversation. He's training well, playing minutes or parts of match, not yet 90 minutes, but he went through periods now, basically 75 or 80 minutes of games. Conditions always also improving. His feelings after matches are getting much better. For example, in the first match in Budapest, he played 60 minutes and he was super, super tired after the game. This time he played more, and 2 days later, he's basically second day of recovery and he's good. We need him. We need them all. And today, in a long, long time, we didn't have every player on the pitch. And today we had, of course, Gio is not ready yet, but he's training with the team. And that is great news as well, because we have a lot of matches. Now it's Sunday and then Zagreb and then Palace and then Zagreb and Arsenal, and never stop. So we need everybody. And in the particular case of Dele Alli, I am very happy.
So, I mean, that's great news. I mean, with all the stories that we've been talking about with Dele Alli over the course of the season, and even at the back end of Poch, all the stuff that's been talked about with Dele Alli, to hear a manager speak so positively about him after such a positive performance as well, is only good things. And, I think I get from that he's definitely going to be playing a part this weekend.
Yeah, for sure, be playing a part. It even sounds like it might be starting.
Yeah.
But to be honest, by what he's saying, he's clearly very happy with his application as well. Doesn't seem to have a problem with him at the moment. So let's hope for we've seen a lot of quality from Dele Alli over the past few weeks, and let's just hope he can do it in the Premier League on a more consistent basis, like we know he can. We've seen it before, so it's all about just getting back to that level. And there are signs of it, and clearly Mourinho is encouraged as well.
Yeah, like those world-class moments is just so great to see. That overhead kick was really
Beautiful.
Something special, wasn't
Beautiful.
It was something special, something out of the complete top drawer.
Yeah, and that's what we need more of. Okay. Next question Mourinho was asked was, Eric Dier contradicted you this week on his confidence levels. Do you stand by what you said? He said, I prefer that I'm wrong. I prefer that it has nothing to do with low confidence. I prefer players with big personalities, like the player who misses 2 penalties in a row but still has the confidence to take the third penalty. And on the third penalty, he gets the ball and tries again. So I'm very happy that it's not a mental situation and not a psychological situation. I'm really happy with that. So is he implying that Dier has been missing penalties from a defensive point of view? Kind of.
I mean, he has.
Kind of
he has.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, isn't he?
He has. I mean, it's clear for everyone to see Dier's flaws this season. So look, obviously Jose is not going to go in the press and go, oh yeah, no, he's wrong. His confidence is low. You know what I mean? He's just going to play off what Eric Dier says and try spin it in a positive way.
Yeah. But who do you think's right? Do you think he is on low confidence, or do you think he's
No, I don't think he is on low confidence. When you see him on the pitch, he doesn't look low confidence. He doesn't look like what he looked like at the back end of Poch.
I don't think the whole that one against Chelsea was down to low confidence. That was just stupidity.
Just stupidity, yeah.
Just stupidity and lack of concentration.
Yeah, I don't see a player with low confidence. I see a player that's playing well, but but kind of makes stupid errors every game.
Yeah.
But
And
on
he's
the most part, he is actually playing well. But the problem is these errors, and if you
they
can't
keep
stamp them
costing
out,
us. Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't think it's a confidence thing. I really don't.
Yeah. So maybe Mourinho was wrong when he said it before. But interesting, there's a bit of back and forth there. All right, moving on. Can the Europa League act as a pick-me-up for the Premier League? Mourinho says to win is always better than to lose, and to win, of course, creates different feelings. The reality is we won in Budapest and also playing well uncomfortably, but in the next match against West Ham we lost. So to win one match doesn't mean you're going to win the second match, but means better feelings, more confidence for the players, more belief and more positivity. That is obvious, but we know by experience for many years since Burnley came to the Premier League that every match against Burnley from minute one is a very, very difficult match.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty
Nothing
standard
much
stuff
in
there.
that. Just keep going.
He was then asked, "Do you need to show the same character from the win over the Clarets in October?" He says, "Yes, of course. Burnley, I always say, is a very easy team to analyze because they have such an identity. Basically, they have the same mentality, principles, and organization. It doesn't matter if they play home or away against a top team or a low-level team. Burnley is always Burnley. Sean is always Sean, and the players are the perfect interpreters of what he wants for the team. Easy to analyze, difficult to play against. You have to be solid defensively. If not, you know they can score. One long ball, one cross, one set piece. They are always a threat in every match when they are not dominant because they press high and well with great organization. It's never easy to play against them. We know it's not going to be. We know it's not going to be a difficult match for us, but we know it's not going to be a difficult match for us, but we know only one result was a good result for us, and we're going for that. I think he means we know it is going to be a difficult match for us. He says
Yeah.
not, but I don't think he means it not. Yeah. I think he's completely right there. Sean Dyche usually and Burnley, they always play the same way. It doesn't matter who they play, do they?
Yeah, but I think that we are more suited to a team to come out, play more expansive football, to leave more at the back. But having said that, we beat Burnley at Turf Moor this season. We've beaten West Brom twice this season, teams that like to sit back and frustrate. And I think that I genuinely think we're going to win this weekend. I really do. And
I want
think
a better performance than we played in October.
Yeah,
for me.
I think our attacking players are coming into form. So if they carry on playing like the way they are, Gareth Bale, Dele Alli, Heung-min Son, Harry Kane, Eric Lamela as well, starting to come into a bit of form. Lucas Moura as well, even he's starting to come into a bit of form. So I think that if these players stay on job and stay on the form that they are on the last couple of weeks, then I have no two ways about how we're going to win this game.
Yeah, I agree. I want to win well. I don't want to just scrape it 1-0 like we did against them last time we played them. Okay, since Gareth Bale came back, the fans have wanted him, Son, Ali, and Kane all to start together. Are we close to that now? And then, interestingly, Mourinho says, "Do you give me 4 names or 11? Do you want to give everyone the other 7 as well? I do the other 7. I'll do the other 7 if you do those 4. If you do the 4." Maybe he's implying they are going to start. He says, "Well, you could see against West Ham was not from the start of the game, but for 20 minutes or so, we had Bale, Lucas, Dele, Harry, and Son all on the pitch. So you had it there. We didn't turn the result around. We didn't score to win the game, but you could leave the game with positive feelings. They played well. The interaction was good. We created chances. All of them, they had their ball to score their goal and was positive." Since the beginning of the season, that I'm saying that I don't forget Lo Celso because he is out for 2 or 3 months or whatever. I don't forget him because he also belongs to the quality of creative players as well as Tongi, and also you could say Lamela and Bergwijn. We have players with these qualities when they're on top form and when they are fit and when they're ready to play matches. Is never a problem for good players to play together. Do you think he's implying that maybe we're going to see those 4 together?
I think he is.
When he says, "Do you give me 4 names or 11? 4 or 11? Do you want to give the other 7 as well?"
Yeah, but also when he spoke about Dele the transcript you wrote a few minutes ago, I got from that maybe Dele might be starting. So I get a feeling that it will be Dele. I really do. Yeah, Bale for sure. Dele's the question mark.
Dele, Bale, Son, and Kane. That would be lovely if we can get them
really
all on
would.
pitch.
It really would.
That'll be Dele's first Premier League start since the first game of the season as well. So I think he might be hinting at it, but he can't say for sure with Jose, but he might be hinting at that.
Yeah, I mean, Jose's press conference, you always have to read like
in between the
10
lines.
lines, never mind one line, two lines.
Literally. So yeah, that could be something source of excitement. Next question he was asked: Carlos Vinicius has now scored 9 goals in this season, albeit not in the Premier League. What more can he do to get in your plans? He says Carlos has one problem, and that problem is Harry Kane. It's as simple as that. You need to be a special guy. You need to have a special heart and a special mentality and a special feeling in relation to what you mean for the team and what the team expects from you. To be a striker in the same team as Harry Kane, then you need to be a special guy, always motivated, always happy to have 1 minute, 5 minutes or to start the game. He is giving us what we want. In the Premier League, he's going to play because we have so many matches that Kane cannot play every game. Oh, that's interesting. First season in a country is never easy, especially a South American player that doesn't speak the language. That is the first time he leaves his comfort zone. Portugal is a comfort zone for South American players. It is good weather, the people, the style of football, the language. Portugal is the perfect comfort zone or an adaptation zone to these players. To come to England for Carlos was not easy at all, but he is giving us what we wanted. So that's kind of positive from about Carlos, and also saying that. Where is it? In the Premier League, he is going to play because we have so many matches that Kane cannot play every match. So it sounds like we're going to be seeing more of Carlos Vinicius from now to the end of the season in the Premier League.
Look, I've been saying it for a while. It was always going to be an uphill battle for Carlos Vinicius coming in here. It was always, obviously, like he's always said, like he's just said, he's been in Portugal pretty much his whole career, Portugal and Brazil. Had no Premier League experience whatsoever, didn't know the language. He's come into a brand new country, new style of football. We've seen how it's taken players to bed into the Premier League before, especially from abroad. So it was always going to be that way. And I think that Carlos Vinicius, yes, he hasn't had perfect performances, but he's done everything that we could have asked from, really.
Yeah, in terms of his goal return and stuff and his impact on that sense, like we brought him in to pretty much manage these early rounds of Europa League without having to rely on Kane or Son up front, and he's pretty much done that. He's done that job.
Yeah.
And when we get to the business end, obviously, when we get to like quarters and semis and really important Premier League games, obviously Kane and Son are always going to get the nod. But in these games, when he's come in, he's done the job for us. 9 goals, you can't really complain about it. I don't think he's the perfect player, and he's got a lot of improving to do. But I think as a poacher and as a physical striker, he's good, and he does a good job for us in that sense.
I got a feeling when we get to like the quarters, or if we get to the quarters and the semis, I feel it's going to be switched around where Harry Kane might play the Europa League games and Carlos might play the league games.
Maybe. I don't know if... Yeah.
It depends how we're going in the league, but
yeah,
as it stands, that's what I think we'll go and do.
Yeah, potentially. I could definitely see that. Maybe even like, one game this week, maybe Carlos will start or something. Who knows? Who knows what he's intending? But I'm glad if we can use him a bit more. And but also on the back of the articles that Alistair Gold wrote, saying that Spurs are very unlikely to exercise the 40 million release clause at this point, but Vinicius has 3 months to basically prove that he's worth another
45
season,
million.
or worth another season, or worth a renegotiation. I don't think we're going to pay that amount under any circumstances, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't for a player what Vinicius has showed for us so far. I can't see us spending more than 15-20 million on him.
Yeah,
if that even
at the moment. That's the truth. All right. He was then asked, how big of an achievement is it for Sean Dyche to be the longest serving manager in the Premier League? He said he's doing amazing. I think he has the power to decide and make decisions, to choose the players in relation to what the club can give him and in relation to his philosophy. He knows the profile of footballer he wants. He knows the profile of football he wants to play and the profile of team he wants to have. He knows how to get the number of points that season after season that they keep far away from dangerous positions. Don't forget they qualified for Europa League a couple of years ago. Just amazing work he is doing. Good professional, and I'm very pleased for the work he is doing. So just talking up Sean Dyche there.
Sean Dyche is a quality guy. He really is. I mean, he's a lot of banter.
His stuff licky-likies. I love a good licky-likey.
The stuff he comes out with in press conferences is a breath of fresh air sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Really is. Otherwise,
bloke,
the robotic manager responses that we usually hear.
Yeah, it's nice to see a bit of like human side to people in football, and he's definitely a big part of that when he in those press conferences, especially of late. So yeah, I've got time for Sean Dyche for sure. Where do you think he ranked in terms of Premier League managers? Do you think he's
quite high.
Do you think he could get
I
a
rate him
higher
very
job?
highly.
Do you reckon he could take charge of like a Villa or an Everton and do a good job there?
Yeah, I mean, it remains to be seen because you've seen someone like Brendan Rodgers, yeah, let's say. Brendan Rodgers he's shown he can produce different styles of football. He's shown he can produce that pressing from the high. He's shown he can produce like that counter-attacking football. He's shown like all different styles of football to a high quality. Sean Dyche, we've never seen anything but him at Burnley. So it's difficult to say, but I would back him at a bigger club. I really would, because I think he's a really good manager. The job he's done with Burnley over the years is second to none. It really is.
And I think he's longer term manager of Burnley, but I wouldn't be surprised if sooner rather than later he either resigns or he gets approached by someone. And that doesn't last that much longer because, I think he's a great manager, and I think I reckon he could do a decent job higher up, but. Whether he gets that chance remains to be seen, because I feel like when he's at Burnley, he's so intertwined with Burnley as a football club that he gets associated with them, and like people associate him with that level.
I could see him going to like a Wolves or someone like that. I really could.
I think Wolves under Nuno, like, have become so used to this like this different kind of approach. Like if they were to go, I don't know if they'll turn to it. They'll probably turn to like a young European manager rather than like a Sean Dyche.
Could be.
Anyway, let's moving on. Next question he was asked: how do you deal with pressure? He said, the problem for me is if you don't have pressure. I felt in trouble when I was at home and did not have pressure for a few months. That's the problem. It comes like oxygen. It is out of life. I don't think there is any coach in the world without objectives or any kind of pressure. You get used to it, and also used to the way the press is at the time, and you have to adapt to it. Okay, so he's just saying that he likes the pressure. That's all right, I guess. And then
history tells us that he doesn't like too much pressure. In terms of when it starts to get bad.
Yeah, I guess when it starts to get bad, he doesn't usually turn it around.
I think that Jose Mourinho, we haven't seen him reveal himself like that at Spurs yet.
Not yet. But I mean, he has to turn this around. If he doesn't turn it around, he might reveal himself.
But like things are going so bad in terms of results, you would have thought that kind of Jose Mourinho would have switched on already. But he seems still very calm.
He does seem very calm. Doesn't seem that combative at the moment, and he himself has admitted he's less confrontational than he was in his younger years. So maybe he has changed, but we have to, jury's still out. So is Serge Aurier going to be fit for the weekend? He was asked. This is Jonathan Veal asked this, and he gave a weird response to Jonathan Veal. He said, "By the way, great tweets, very professional, very honest. Congratulations on your last couple of tweets." So I don't know what he's referring to. If you want to go through Jonathan Veal's Twitter with a fine-tooth comb and
I went through it. I went through it just before, and I just couldn't see anything what Jose would be talking about.
Yeah, it's very odd. I don't know if he's being sarcastic or he's just being genuine and saying I like your Twitter account. I don't know. But I guess what to take away from that is he's looking at social media, I guess. But then he goes on to say, Serge is fine. He's absolutely fine. He trained today with the team without any limitations. As I was saying, everybody is training with the team. The only one left is Gio, who's not in the condition to play this weekend. I think even next week will be quite premature, but not to say it's impossible for him to come back next week. Today, for the first time in a long time, the medical department could watch the Europa League draw as they didn't have any players inside to keep fit, or to recover. So that's quite interesting, and sounds like he's happy with the situation in terms of injuries and stuff, and players coming back into the fold and coming available selection. And that's what we need at this stage of the season when all these games are coming so thick and fast. We need a big squad. We need that big squad, and that's very important. And yeah, it's good to have Aurier back.
I mean, the last time we had a clean bill of health pretty much was when we were on that good run, wasn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. We had no injuries, and that was when good things. Yeah, when the injuries started to clock up, and we had to play Ben Davies for 9 straight games and stuff like that, and then we had serious problems. But hopefully now we can, when the squad's fully fit, we have all these different options, we have different ways of playing. It can only be good things, can't it?
Yeah, and it looks like Gio could be coming in for maybe first leg or second leg of Zagreb, or maybe even the Arsenal game.
Yeah, which would be great to have him back, and then also another great option in midfield, which we need. And if we can have him, Dele competing with each other, then having Ndombele in that pivot sealed there, can only mean good things.
All right. Well, that is it. That is the press conference, isn't it?
That is the press conference. That's the end of the press conference. So some good stuff there from Jose, on Bale, on Dele, on the Europa League draw, and Carlos Vinicius especially as well. That was quite interesting. So Interesting to get your people's thoughts. I want to get all your thoughts as well. So I think there's a link in the description already.
The link is in the community section.
The link's already in the community section. So join us now. We're going to get some fans on to focus on opinions, and I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone's got to say and your people's predictions, and also your reaction to the Europa League draw, which will be interesting. So I want to know what people have got to say.
All right. We're going to have that echo thing.
Oh, God.
But look, let's get Jack. Let's get Jack on. Let's get Jack.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Jack. Good afternoon for us. But how are you?
Good. It's good to hear Serge is coming back, and we finally have a timeline on Gio.
Yeah, finally. And it looks like he might be back for the Europa League games or for the Arsenal game. I mean, how big is that for you?
I mean, it feels like he was, at one point I thought he was dead. I didn't know when he was coming back. It seemed like he had this, eternal hamstring injury, and Jose he doesn't really care too much about giving timelines that might be unrealistic or timelines that he's not sure of. And so I was really worried because Gio is a world-class player, and in a sense, though, maybe it was a blessing in disguise that Gio was gone, because this gave Dele plenty of opportunities to win us over again, because having Gio, Tanguy, and Lamela above Dele was probably going to never give him another chance. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise that Gio was hurt.
Yeah, and we always with Gio, we never get exactly a time frame, as you say. It's always with Gio. It's always like he'll be out for a bit, and then we won't see him for quite a while, like with Lamela. But Europa League draw was made earlier today. Jack, Dynamo Zagreb in the Europa League last 16. We got Arsenal sandwiched in between those two ties. What was your reaction to the draw?
It's one of the better fixtures, or one of the better draws that we can get. I mean, to be honest, Dinamo Zagreb have, I think, a decent history in the Europa League. They also have a decent history of producing good players. The Dani Olmo came from there recently. They have some, strong young Croatian players. They also have a good veteran, Orsic, who I think is, no matter what competition he's been in, either the Champions League or the Europa League, I feel like I've always seen his name on the score sheet. So I mean, might as well be happy about it, but I mean, we can't overlook them, and we can't see past them. And as a poor team, I mean, they've produced world-class teams in the last couple of years. I mean, they even had that huge result, I think, against Man City a while back.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are you looking at in this game on the weekend? Big game against Burnley, big pressure to win this game. If we don't win this game, then there's going to be serious pressure on Jose Mourinho, considering the form we're on. And I want to know your thoughts on what he was talking about. Dele Alli, do you expect him to start this weekend based on what he said, and how important is getting a win on the weekend? What do you think about that?
I feel like to win here is to get the train going and to get the track started, because we need to get 9 points from these next 3 games. I think it's vital. It's absolutely crucial. And Burnley will probably weirdly be one of the more difficult ones, because Burnley always give top teams and top 4 teams, even though we're not a top 4 team at the moment, they give the top teams a tough game. It's always a 1-0 or 2-0. I think recently, of the top teams they played, Man City was the only one to beat them 2-0. And they also pulled that upset against Liverpool. So we know that Sean Dyche can pull a masterclass. But in a sense, I think Jose is almost sometimes the perfect manager for a guy like Sean Dyche, who's very pragmatic and will stay reserved with his tactics and his defense. Jose can he won't overexpress his team, but he will also analyze the Burnley defense, and I think he'll find holes in it that maybe other managers possibly haven't.
Okay.
In terms of the way we're going to approach this game, do you think Dele gets a nod this game?
Oh, yeah, that was the other question. Sorry. Dele is, I think he should. I mean, I took that the same way that you guys did. I think he should start this game. And he won me over in the Europa League. I think he clearly showed that he can play in the middle. If he works hard, I think he should be able to play in the middle. And we should put Bale in. I think Bale is a must. start because of his form and because of what he can produce, especially against a team like Burnley. That's going to be very frustrating. Bale can probably, who knows, he might pull a world-class goal in the 15th minute, and we could be riding, we could be riding for the rest of the game. But I think this is one of the games where we have to put out one of our most attacking lineups. Sadly, I do not want to see Steven Bergwijn. I need to see Bale, Kane, Son, and Dele, and then hopefully Tanguy and Højbjerg in the pivot. And it's also great to see Serge is back, and then Sergei as well. I mean, that is a terrifying. When we are healthy, we are terrifying. And so,
do you reckon that's a bit harsh on Eric Lamela with his form the recent?
Yeah, it's tough because even with Gio coming back, it's going to be hard to even remember how great Lamela was, because he's also been working so hard and has been definitely a more consistent showing than Dele. But for the human element of the game, which I'm always a bit partial to, I would put Dele in this game just for his own confidence and just so that he can feel like he can embrace maybe the opportunity that Jose is presenting him, and possibly maybe the positivity that Jose is finally showing him. And so maybe this will be the time where Jose is actually a man of his word in terms of what he means by Dele, and this could be his chance. I agree with you, though. Like, Eric Lamela deserves it just as much as anyone, but maybe for the human element of the game, I would rather see Dele play.
And it was interesting what he had to say about Eric Dier as well, Mourinho. In terms of, Dier was saying last night that it wasn't a confidence thing in terms of his form or anything. He was saying that, his dip in form has coincided with the team's dip in form, and he's never had a crisis of confidence like he's had previously. And Mourinho obviously said that his confidence was low in previous press conferences, but he was put it to him that, maybe he was wrong about that. And he said, I prefer that I'm wrong. I prefer it has nothing to do with low confidence. I like a big personality, and I like, for example, I like a player who misses 2 penalties but takes the ball for the 3rd penalty and wants to try again. So what do you think about that? Do you think it's first of all, is he implying that Dier has done the equivalent of missed 2 penalties in recent games? And also, where do you fall on this whole confidence thing? Do you feel like you fall on more on Dier's side or Mourinho in that sense?
That's difficult for me. I can say that Dier, I think, is a confident player because he has, gone through pretty much countless mistakes through every game and continues to show up and play. Like we've said a million times, he plays really well for 88 minutes, and then there's some 1 minute lapse of concentration or just some 1 minute moment where he's just playing completely out of his character. But that still shows that he's a confident player. If he's able to make these atrocious mistakes and then still look like a pretty top center back for the rest of the game, that shows that he has confidence. I think he also has confidence, what we saw in the documentary when he challenged Dele in the dressing room after Dele was kind of pouting over, I forget what loss. And then there were other times, right, where he stood up for his family in the stands when they were being abused by rival fans. And he's a confident man, and he knows what he can stand up for, and he knows how to stand up for himself, I think, both physically as well as emotionally. But in terms of what Jose said, I think it's not even an exaggeration. It's almost like he has, in a sense, missed, penalties, consecutively, almost kind of like in a Jorginho-esque manner, which I can't. I mean, I'm never a Chelsea fan, but I never understand why Jorginho ever gets put on the spot ever again with what he's done. But that's another topic, and I could care less. But Dier, I think it's not an exaggeration. I mean, Dier has made some pretty atrocious mistakes, but to answer your question again, yeah, I think he, despite those atrocious mistakes, he still somehow pulls out pretty decent performances if you were to exclude those mistakes. So it shows that he is a confident player. And
Jack, before we let you go, what's your score prediction for the weekend?
Every other top team has only beat Burnley 1-0, and Liverpool only lost to them 1-0, but I'm going to go 3-0.
3-0, wow. Same as Sim.
I think with the full squad, Sergei and Serge, I mean, that's going to be tough for them. Sometimes those are the 2 best fullbacks in the Prem on their form. And then if we are going to go with that attacking lineup of either Dele or Lamela in the middle, Bale on the right, Kane up top, and Son on the left, I think that's going to be too much for Burnley. They're also a tired team right now. And, this is kind of the dog days of the season where it's tough to motivate yourself. And I think this could be a game where Burnley might, have a lapse of concentration, maybe get a walloping from us.
All right,
Okay.
Jack, absolute pleasure to speak to you as always. And hopefully we'll get to speak to you Sunday evening as well. Sunday
Absolutely.
afternoon.
Up the Spurs.
Come on, you
Nice one,
Spurs.
Jack.
Nice one, Jack.
Someone in the comments saying maybe he's referring to apparently Jonathan Veal. The last game tweeted out. Mourinho said on Dele's goal, saying the goal I do not need to speak about, and everyone watches it around the world and will watch it, so I don't need to speak about it. And maybe that's what he's taking issue with. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know why he would take issue with that. Maybe because he wasn't the full quote or something, and it may implied that he wasn't praising Dele. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what he's referring to, or if he's even referring to anything, or if he might just literally be praising his account. I don't know. This is what Jose does to us. All right. Who's gonna come on next?
Let's go to Lewis.
Lewis.
1 second, Lewis. Just going to get you on.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello,
Lewis. How
Lewis.
are you doing, my friend?
I'm a bit nervous, right?
You're nervous.
No
And I've
worries.
got a
Don't be
Tottenham
nervous.
pajamas on.
Ah, come
Beautiful.
on.
Up the Spurs.
Come
Isn't
on.
it a bit too late in the day to be wearing pajamas?
No. Always wear them.
I'm joking. I'm
Wear them
joking.
all day. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I wish I could wear pajamas all day. They're most comfortable.
Are they lucky pajamas?
Course.
Come
So
on,
that
you
means
wear-
we're going to win on the weekend.
Yeah. Hopefully. Anyways.
So
Hopefully
what's
don't
your
park the bus again.
what's your
That's
thoughts
definitely
coming
good.
into the game? Are you excited? Are you confident?
I'm alright. It's just that my dad gets annoyed sometimes that he just turns the TV off because he just parks the bus every single day. I'm like, no, not today.
Well,
So
well,
yeah, I reckon it's going to go well.
When was the last time your dad turned the TV off? Was it last game?
West Ham.
West
Turn it
Ham.
up when they
Well,
won 1-0 up.
that was it. That was the end of the game for him, was it?
Yeah.
Does he let you turn it back on?
No. Not at all.
I see. So how are you keeping up the score? You're just guessing. You're just hoping we turn it around.
I'm
once
hoping we
TV's
can
off?
win with some good players. Obviously, Dele with that overhead kick was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just amazing. I reckon we can win this one. This weekend.
In terms of Jose Mourinho, you say your dad keeps turning off the TV because we park the bus. Are you a fan of Jose Mourinho?
He's alright. He could be alright sometimes, but yeah, I am. It's my dad.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, alright.
Your dad's not. So your dad wants him sacked, does he? Is your dad Josie out?
Well, we hope so. He wants.
What do you tell him when he's railing against Mourinho? Do you tell him, "Come on, Dad, give him a chance"?
Yeah, it's like what I do. So he just walks out the door and just stresses out.
You should get your dad on the channel as well, and maybe we could
I'll
have a
try.
nice
I want
conversation.
to get you on together. Get you on
Yeah,
together.
you should come on together next time, maybe after the game or something. But what's your score prediction going into the game?
Well, could be a tricky one. I reckon 2-0. This one.
2-0. Yeah, I said 2-0
Yeah.
as well. We've got a super chat here for you, Jack. It's
Ooh.
from
Yeah,
Lewis.
Lewis.
For Lewis. It's from Jack. And it says, an absolutely world-class pajama answer from Lewis. So there you go. That's for you there.
And what do you think? We got Zagreb in the draw, Lewis. Are you happy with that? You think we're going to go through?
Yeah, I reckon we're going to go through this one. Not going to be tricky, I'm assuming, hopefully, anyways. So, yeah, we're going to get through.
What are we going to achieve this season in terms of what we're going to win? Where are we going to finish in the league?
That's a hard question to answer.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah. I think we're going to finish in the Europa League spot this season because the way we've been playing is absolutely terrible. Yeah.
Do you back us to turn it around? Do you think we got the players and we got the manager to turn it around this season?
Yeah. I think so. I think so. Yeah, it's going to work out really well. And
Is it? Yeah.
let's hope.
Is your dad at the stage yet where he's hoping we lose every week to get Jose sacked? Is he out of that stage yet? Or is he still looking for the wins?
He's still looking for wins.
He's still all right. He's not quite on the Twitter level yet of wanting Jose to lose. But who's your dad wanting to replace Jose? Do you know?
Mauricio Pochettino again.
Get Poch back.
He prefers
Love
him.
it. We're gonna get him back from PSG, are we?
Hopefully, anyway. Because he wants Dele Alli, doesn't he?
He wants Dele. Do you think Dele should start on Sunday?
Yeah, he's a world class person now because of that. That's his thing. I agree. He should start. Yeah.
Brilliant, Lewis. All right.
All right, Lewis. I just want to say thank you so much
You
for
did
coming
great,
on.
by the way, Lewis. No need to be nervous. You did fantastic.
Yeah.
We
I
should come
watch
back
your
on.
things every single day.
We
you,
appreciate
man.
your support, but I just want to say thank you
Alright.
so much for coming on. You were brilliant, and do come on again.
Yeah,
I
come
will
on again,
do.
mate.
Thanks a lot,
If you're
Lewis.
still awake, it's not
Bye.
past your bedtime.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Absolutely brilliant. Cool,
Love
Lewis.
that.
Thank you
Absolutely
so
love
much for
that.
calling in.
That made
We've
me
got
laugh.
Tiago Rocha here. Just
Thiago.
before we bring him on, I just want to say if you want to come on and join the conversation, the link is in the community section on YouTube right now. So all you need to do is click that link, type in your name, make sure your camera is turned on. Otherwise, we won't be able to get you on, and we'll bring you on and have a quick chat about the upcoming game and whatever you want to chat about Spurs related. So let's get on Tiago Rocha. 1 second. Hi, Tiago.
Hello.
How's it going, mate?
I'm good. You?
Yeah, good. Thanks. What do you want to say today?
I was just want to say about it's going to be a tough game on Sunday, and I believe if we put the right squad, we'll get a good result.
You say the right squad. There's been a lot of talk about Dele Alli, Gareth Bale, even Eric Lamela. Who would you start in the attacking roles? Left wing, right wing, number 10, and obviously it'll be Kane up front and Son on the left. Who would you start at the number 10 in the right wing role?
It's got to be Bale and Dele Alli after that performance against in Europa League. If not, I understand if he puts Lamela because he's been consistent for a while. But I would put Dele and Bale.
He was talking about Carlos Vinicius a lot in his press conference as well, saying that, we're going to see him a lot more in the Premier League because Kane can't play every match. What do you think of Carlos? And do you think he deserves more time? And are you looking forward to him getting more time in the Premier League?
I always liked him. My dad supports Porto and he used to play for Benfica. So I always
Really? Your dad used to play for Benfica?
No. My dad supports Porto and we used to see him.
Oh, right.
We used to see him all the time. And he scored against us in the final. I always knew he was like a good player. So I was excited when he signed for Spurs.
Yeah, how do you think he's done? And do you think he's good? And do you think he's good enough to be getting more time in the Premier League?
He's a good backup, but if you think about it, 45 million is not worth it against. He scored 9 goals in like Europa League and against Marine, so it's not the greatest.
But let me ask you this, Tiago. If you take the money out of it, if you take out how much his future fee is going to be or could be, has he not done the job that's required of him so far? Coming in, playing as backup as Kane, coming in for the Europa League games, 9 goals already. Has he not done his job, or do you just think he's simply not good enough?
No, he's done his job, and he brings a different dynamic to the squad because he's not like Kane, because Kane's developed this season. And you can see last game he was trying to collect the ball like in the half, and it wasn't working. So I think he brings a different dynamic, but that's if the price is not included.
So would you like to see him stay for a lesser fee, or would you just like to look at a different option?
I don't know, because there's also Dane Scarlett coming in, but he's still young.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should be spending that much money on a backup. Because maybe in 2 years, because Mourinho's already said next year Dane Scarlett might be involved in the first team. So we just need to see in the summer.
And looking back on the game, what scoreline prediction do you think it's going to be? What's the score?
I'll say 3-1 because our defence can't keep clean sheets.
Yeah, you're damn right. Who do you think will start centre back?
Just probably when Toby plays one game, he just doesn't play him again. So I think we're going to see either Sanchez and Dier or Sanchez and Toby. I don't want that, but that's what he's going to do.
What would you want personally?
Rodon and Toby, but I haven't seen Rodon in any of the training pictures, or there's not been any updates on him. So I doubt he will start.
All right, Tiago, absolute pleasure speaking to you, mate. Please do call in again.
Nice one,
Big
Tiago.
fan.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
See you later, mate. Oh, by the way, Tiago, before you go, are you related to Ricardo Rocha by any chance?
No.
Do you know who that is?
No, who is he?
He used to play centre back for Tottenham, Portuguese.
Oh
And
yeah,
Benfica.
yeah.
He
He's
used to play
my
for
cousin.
Benfica as
He
well.
lives down the road. He's my cousin. Yeah.
Ah, nice. Get him on the
Yeah,
channel.
yeah. Me and him sometimes, talk about Spurs.
Love that.
Thanks a lot,
Love it.
Tiago, man. Thanks
Love
for
that,
coming on,
Tiago.
man.
Brilliant. See you later, mate. Apparently now they're saying Veal misquoted Mourinho in that when he was
Talking about
saying,
Dele Alli, they're
yeah,
saying.
apparently it was a Veal misquoted Jose, and by misquoting him, Veal implied that Jose was downplaying Dele's performance in the goal. When I don't know, I can't remember what the actual quote was. But that's what people are saying. Maybe that's what Mourinho's getting at.
Maybe.
But we have to wait and see.
All right,
But all right.
let's keep going. We've got Vivan Bhatia. Let's see what he has to say.
Vivan.
Hi, Vivan. How you doing, mate?
Fine, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Obviously, the press conference has been done. It looks as though we've got a clean bill of health, barring Giovanni Lo Celso. How confident are you going into the game?
Probably more confident to see Reguilon Ore back in the team because Doherty doesn't do his job, and I think Tanganga is too defensive to play at right back. And of course, Reguilon just helps us on the counter attack a lot more than Davis, and is able to keep up with the other wingers, which Davis is just unable to do.
Do you think we're going to see Dele, Dele, Bale, Son, and Kane all start together today on the weekend?
I could see Bale starting, but knowing Josie, I don't think he'll start Dele again, even though a lot of fans want him to start. But knowing him, he'll probably go for Sissoko or Winks in that next to Højbjerg.
No, I don't. You think he's going to start Sissoko and Winks on Sunday?
Probably not, but I don't think he's going to go for Dele again, judging by his team selection, because then I think it's for him will be too attacking of a team to play Højbjerg, Nondenbelly, and Dele in the midfield.
Interesting.
Are you happy with Jose? Do you think he's doing a good job, or would you think we should be looking at replacing him?
I think it's a little too soon to tell. Probably over the next 4 to 5 games how we do in the Europa League round of 16. I think only time could tell if he's the right man or whether we need to look for someone for next season.
What did you think of the Europa League draw? We got drawn against Dynamo Zagreb
I think,
in the last 16. Do you think it's a good draw for us?
yeah, considering like Arsenal got Olympiacos, United got AC Milan, I think it's a good draw. We had chance of getting better teams, but we didn't. And I think we got probably one of the easier teams to face in the round of 16.
Okay. And what's your prediction for Sunday, Vivan?
I think 2-1 Spurs.
2-1 Spurs.
Who's going to get the goals?
Probably Son and Bale.
Son and Bale.
Son
All
and
right.
Bale.
I hope it's Kane because I've triple captained Kane on my fantasy team this week. So hopefully Kane scores.
Yeah, double game week.
Exactly.
You know, he knows the score.
You know your stuff. Have you triple captained Kane this week?
No, I already triple captained him earlier during the Arsenal fixtures where he got the goal and assist.
Oh, nice.
Not bad.
All right, not bad at all.
Kane,
but
that's confidence. I like that. Triple captain Kane against Arsenal. Should have had that foresight. But anyway,
Vivan, thank you so much for coming on, my friend.
No problem. Thank you.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Let's keep going. Let's go to Josh Simons. Hi, Josh.
Hi, guys.
How's it going, mate? Yeah, all good. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Obviously, Burnley, massive game this weekend. You confident going into it?
I'm confident, but I'm nervous at the same time. I think this is the most important game so far because I think we need to go on a run starting now.
Yeah, what are the consequences if we don't win this game for you?
I think if we don't win this game, we're out of top 6.
Top 6? You think top 6 is gone?
Yeah, because I think Man City are winning, Liverpool, I bet them to get back, United, Chelsea, West Ham, and obviously Leicester. And now Leicester out of the Europa League, I think they're going to focus on the league, and I think they're going to get at least top 4.
Who do you look to start in this game on Sunday? He's been talking up Dele Alli. Obviously, Gareth Bale's in great form, but you've also got players like Lucas and Lamela, who are also in very good form. And then you've got the undroppables in Kane and Son. So he's got a lot of players to juggle. Who would you like to see starting in the front four on Sunday?
Well, Bale, Kane, Son, and Dele's my favourite player, so I'm going to say Dele. But I think it's unfair on Lamela. I think Dele for an hour and bring Lamela on.
Dele for an hour and bring Lamela on. Yeah, Dele's your favourite player. How do you think? Obviously, the season hasn't gone quite as expected for him, but of late he's been coming back into form. What do you think the problem has been for Dele this season? From what you think?
I think his confidence since Poch went, because I think Poch brought him into the team. Poch brought him, and I think he's just got that connection with Poch. And with a new manager, I think he's been affected the most.
Do you not think that his performance level started to drop even when Pochettino was our manager?
I think they did, but I think at the same time Poch loved him and he loved Poch. And I think with a new manager, I don't think Jose obviously clean slate, and I don't think he has favourites. And I think Poch definitely did, to be honest.
Okay.
All right. And have you given your score prediction?
I'm going to go 1-0 Spurs.
1-0 Spurs. You're going for a tight one.
Shaky one. I don't know if I can handle a 1-0 at this point, to be honest.
But look, all right. Thank you so much for coming on, Josh, and do call in again.
Nice one, Josh.
I will. Thank you.
Cheers,
Speak to
mate.
you in a bit, mate. All right.
All right.
Where did Premier Hotspur go? Where he left?
I'm not sure where he's gone. Tatenda, if you do want to come on, then your camera is on. All right. We'll get on Tatenda, then we'll get Brian on. Big up Brian Daigle, by the way, in the comments. We can see you there in the back end.
We see you. We see you.
Tatenda, how you doing, my friend?
Fine. It was a good performance
Where are you calling? Where are you
Africa.
calling from? Africa.
Zambia.
Wow, we got. Wow,
Zambia.
I think you're our first ever caller from Zambia.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened before.
Yeah, it's very rare to be
yeah.
a Tottenham support.
How did you become a Tottenham fan?
Tottenham was the first team I think I watched when I first started watching soccer. I think that was 2015.
Okay. And when you're looking at the game this weekend, how important is this game?
We have to win this game because if we lose this game, it's going to be very tough to come back for even top 4 or top 6. Because you can see teams like Leeds, I think Arsenal are doing bad, but they are still there. They'll come up for you. So if we lose this game, expect us to finish maybe 7th or 8th end of the season.
And when you're looking at the personnel that's going to play this weekend, are you expecting Dele Alli to start?
The thing is, he played the whole match on Thursday, so I still expect Lamela to start first.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, and what do you think about Carlos Vinicius? He's saying Mourinho saying we're going to see him a lot more in the Premier League. Do you think he deserves a lot more time? What do you think of him as a player?
The thing is with Carlos, he's a great finisher, but the one thing when I watch him play sometimes is for someone of his size, he's not physical enough when it comes to going man-to-man with his centre-back.
Interesting. But he's got a good goal-scoring record, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And yeah, he's done all right from that sense. But also Eric Dier, he's been talking a lot in the press recently about his confidence or lack of confidence issues that Mourinho said he was lacking in confidence. What do you think of that whole Eric Dier situation? Do you think he's a good player against centre back, and and Mourinho saying he's on low confidence is just what do you think about that?
The thing is, these are the players Mourinho has right now, so he has to make sure they are ready to go. Because I've never been a fan of Dier over the past 2 years. I used to really like him. Then towards a certain point, he just started continuously making minor errors. Like when he used to play in midfield, the thing is he had people covering him. So it wasn't a very noticeable thing when he made maybe one error. But right now, he's the last line of defense before the goalkeeper. So whenever he makes an error, it's going to be a big issue.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
think you're completely right there. What's your score prediction for the weekend?
2-1.
2-1. A lot of fans going for clean sheets. Who's going to score our goals?
With Burnley's lack of pace, I still go Son and Kane.
Son and
All
Kane.
right.
All right.
So there you have it. You
Yeah,
heard it
classic
from
duo.
Zambia's #1 Spurs fan. 2-1 to Spurs this weekend. Tatenda, thank you so much for calling in, man.
I thought he crashed. All right. Well,
All
thanks for
right.
coming on to Tender. If you could still hear us, really appreciate the call.
All right, it's
let's
Brian time.
let's
Come
get
on, let's
Brian
have
on.
him.
Come on, Brian time. Love it. Love it.
Loving it, Brian time. How are you?
Purim
Yes,
Sameach, Brian. Purim Sameach.
Exactly. Hag Sameach to you. Shabbat Shalom.
And Shabbat Shalom. How did you get drunk last night? Do anything?
Well,
Fancy
seeing I'm a recovering alcoholic and I haven't had a drink for 12 and a half years, I thought it was best to stay away from that.
Congratulations.
I think he made the right call.
Yeah.
Even if I did, I think a shandy and I would have been dancing with the Hare Krishnas or something else. So God knows what about.
Look, big game this weekend. Burnley, obviously. How are you expecting the game to go? Are you confident for this game?
You know what? I'm actually super confident. I really haven't been recently when I've been on because of obviously the performances, but I saw I missed the press conference, but when I saw your heading saying that Gio is the only concern injury-wise, it really, really does bode well. But I've got probably an unpopular decision, which is I would put Son on the bench.
Son.
The only reason I would is because I think Lamella has been playing some, like I said in the last one. Bale has come into his own, and we need to give Son a rest. So I wouldn't say drop him as in drop him, but I think if he comes on and it's a tight game and there's 20 minutes, 30 minutes to go, Fitz, a relaxed Son who's had a bit of a rest might be just the secret weapon we need.
Would you argue if we're playing players on current form, then Son might not even deserve to make the 11?
Well, I've been saying, and I actually meant to say, because I heard you talking with John the other day, and when it came, I think it was in the unpopular opinions with you, Simeon, and they were saying that someone put a tagline that said Son was woeful. It was me when I did my interview with John. So I actually think recently, since this whole contract and saying that it's signed, sealed, delivered, and we're still waiting, he has gone completely off the boil. Now, don't get me wrong, he is a player that just needs a second and he'll do something amazing. But like you said, based on current form, I don't think he should be a starter. And the way you got to work it is you got to play your informed players. But I think having a Son on the bench to give him that, it's win-win. He has a little bit of a rest, and if we need him, he comes on fresher than everyone else, and his pace will just scare everyone.
Yeah, but imagine it would be very controversial if Mourinho was to drop Son.
I tell you what, I hope the South Koreans aren't listening to you because they're probably all clicking unsubscribe from the channel right now.
I apologize for that. Don't unsubscribe to these boys, whatever you do.
Son's world class. He's going to play every minute, and he deserves every starting 11. But Dele Alli, is he one that him and Bale? Do you think they should both start on the weekend?
Bale, I would say yes over Dele, but the only reason for that is Bale was shown over the West Ham game, the Man City when he came on, and then again when he came on in Europe in the week. But Dele's just had the one good game, and it was a great game. And like I said, I annihilated him, so I will stand up and say he proved me wrong. But I don't think one game says right back in. It's like, okay, you've shown what you're made of. Let's just see what you can do in the next game. If I bring you on for 35 minutes or something, he's got to get the fitness up as well. It's just not about the performance; it's about the fitness.
Yeah. And I completely agree, but that's what Mourinho was saying in his press conference that Dele, his fitness is definitely getting back to its best, and he's in a condition where he's playing 75 and 80 minutes, and he's getting better every game. But in terms of Eric Dier, Eric Dier was in the interview in the press yesterday saying that his lack of form at the moment is not due to confidence issues, but it's due to him being a low ebb at the same time as a team, and that's causing issues. Well, whereas Mourinho earlier a few weeks ago said that Dier was lacking in confidence, and that's why he was in poor form. What do you think about that?
So I've said regularly on Tottenham away that the thing with Dier is the mistakes that he has been making. If that was Dele Alli, it's on the back page of the news and he slated him. Eric Dier just gets taken out of the limelight for a game or two and put straight back in the team. There's no accountability. So I think that may have had some kind of like mixed messages thing. But thinking about it when you were speaking to the guy before, Eric Dier seems to be a big game player. Like against Arsenal, I even came on after he was a monster. He seems to have that big game mentality. And at other games, he's a little bit, it's Burnley or it's whoever it may be. And he just seems a little bit more relaxed. And it all depends on who he's got next to him, if he does start. If it's Sanchez, I'm worried. If it's Toby, I'm not.
Interesting. And
do you see him starting Toby, though, after him starting and playing 90 minutes in Europe?
This is the thing. I mean, I really wish he hadn't. But I think this game, like, again, we can now, build up confidence for the Europa last 16. We've got to start getting some kind of run before the, I was about to say Carling, the Carabao Cup.
Same shit.
Yeah, exactly. Same shit, different name, innit? So you just got to you got to think that he's got to play. But I really wish he hadn't played the 90. I'd rather wish, because this game, if we can get a win, the confidence will go up, and top 6 is a bigger possibility or a better finish than what was. Whereas if we lose, I think it's all out for the Europa and nothing else, and it could have a huge effect if we lose. So I would play Toby.
Talking about Europa, got the Dynamo Zagreb in the draw today. And considering, United got Milan, Arsenal got Olympiacos, what was your reaction to the draw?
Well, I was convinced we were going to get the filth. I was convinced we were going to get them and have 3 back-to-back NLDs, which would have been heaven.
You wanted 3 NLDs in a week, did you?
Oh, mate! I would have tried to fly back under the radar and forget COVID just to be there. That would have been like Hanukkah, Rosh Hashanah, everything all rolled into one.
Not if we lost.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And you can imagine the injuries.
And it's 3 Yom Kippurs.
Either way, go either way. But no, I mean, I'm happy with the tie. Getting Milan would have been hard. I certainly didn't want Rangers to form therein.
Yeah.
So Dynamo Zagreb is a very tricky place to go, but it's just funny that Arsenal have just had a home leg in Greece and now they've got an away leg in Greece. Only that club can do that. But we'll see what happens.
All right. And did you say your score prediction for the weekend?
I'm actually going to go. So I've been mentioning this game for a while where Robbie Keane scored 4 goals.
Yeah,
I think
we beat them 5-0.
5-1 or something.
5-0.
And I've got a feeling Kane might say, all right, let's see what Robbie Keane did. Hold my beer. Let's see what I can do. So I think we might have a Kane shower of goals.
Well, if I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong, we beat them 5-0 last year, didn't we?
Yeah, we beat them 5-0 last year.
5-0 last year.
There you go. Oh, yeah, Son scored that worldie. So that's
yeah.
Son should not be on the bench. Put him back on. Forget
I forgot about that. Exactly.
Forget what I said. But guys, also just want to say to you, our podcast Tottenham Away is doing good, and we're soon going into YouTube. And I have to say, and I will keep saying it, you are the catalyst for it, because before I came onto this show and everything, it just wasn't. It was something I wanted to do, but just didn't think I could do. And it's because of you two and the phenomenal work you do across the board that all of this is becoming possible, and for other channels, mate. So you guys, honestly, are just superstars in the making.
Thank you very much, Brian. And we're looking forward to coming on to Spurs Away as well. We're very much looking forward to it.
Exactly. And hopefully, like I said, Burnley, the hair will be a little bit longer because we've got another 3 points.
Looking forward to seeing that growth on Sunday evening, Brian.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Any nice not, Brian?
I have eaten a mother load of Hummentashens. I'm obsessed with the I'm putting the weight on as well with Hummentashens, so it's all good.
As long as Spurs squad stay away from them, I think I'll be all right.
See you later, Brian.
Have a great weekend, boys. See you on Sunday.
See you, mate. Bye, mate.
Bye.
I
mean, half the people, majority of people watching, probably what the hell?
What? You what? Human Tashin.
Let's get Mabsuit on.
Mabsuit.
Yes, Mabsuit. How you doing, man? Long time no see.
Yeah, I always there, but I don't know. I have a problem to get on, so I don't know.
Always there in the shadows, lurking
behind. Yeah, because maybe I come later, and you guys already have a lot of people on
hold.
On hold. So I always there. Believe me, since the last time I came, and I always on the background and listen to you guys. Yeah.
Look,
thank you very much. We really appreciate all the support.
Of course.
In terms of the game this weekend, how confident are you going into it?
I'm confident because even we're not getting result in the league, I can see some positivity, and what I'm gonna say is like, okay, we're not getting result. The only thing about Jose Mourinho, I'm gonna say is like, Mourinho, I love him, but he doesn't have maybe the motivation. Look at Zidane. If Zidane have one match, like he had a lot of bad result and he's in the pressure, the next game you're gonna see, oh, they're not gonna win, but believe me, they're gonna win, because I don't know how he get the motivation out of those players. You understand? So I don't know. Jose Mourinho don't have that. He doesn't have that. For him, you play, you have to prove yourself. I'm not the one that's gonna motivate you to play. You understand? So that's the only thing I see like Jose Mourinho don't have. But the positivity that I'm seeing right now is like, maybe he think that's the problem. You see Bale now, you see Dele Alli involved, and I think that's the positive I'm seeing recently, and you can see it in the West Ham game. Even we didn't win that game, so I'm positive. But you know that defense, man. I don't trust that defense. That's why everybody's going with the clean sheet, but
you're not so sure.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
In terms of our centre backs options, who's the best two, and who should start on the weekend for you? Not who will start, but who should start.
You know, we don't have the defense. The only defender that we have is Toby. And Toby, I think since that injury that he has in the Chelsea game, I don't think he's 100% fit every time.
Yeah,
maybe that's why Jose dropped, because I don't see why he usually drop him. So you see, chances and Dier are, everybody knows, man.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, but for me, Toby, like if chances have to play, Toby have to play. If Dier have to play, Toby have to play. So they just need, you know, if I even want to say like, okay, one of those defenders have to go, it has to be Sanchez.
Yeah.
And we have to get,
how much do you reckon we even get for Sanchez? Because we spent what, 42 million, something like that. How much can we recoup?
Right now, you know, you cannot get 40 million for Sanchez right now. Even 30 million, I don't see it. It's gonna be between 20 and 25 million.
Yeah, maybe even less, to be honest.
Yeah, yes.
The way he's going.
So the best pairing I can see right now is Dier and Toby. Rodon is good, but he's young. He gonna make mistake.
Yeah, but who isn't making mistakes? That's the thing.
Yeah. But I think Dier is better with Toby. He's better with Toby.
With Zagreb in the next round of the Europa League, what do you think that means for us in the competition? You got a good chance of winning it now?
Yeah, we got a good chance to winning, but we don't have to go like we don't have to take it lightly. We have to go stronger the first leg and kill the game, and the second leg we go strong. After two go, we can put our French player inside.
Just quickly on the Burnley game before I let you go, what is your score prediction?
I will go 3-1.
3-1. Who's going to get the goals?
Obviously Kane, Son, and maybe Bale.
All right.
Kane, Son, and
Mabsut says
Bale.
3-1, Kane, Son, and Bale.
Yeah.
Let me know your scoreline predictions in the comment section below. But Mabsut, thank you so much for coming on, my friend.
All right.
Mabsut.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
Stefan and Lovu says, Sim and Ben, why not drop Højbjerg to centre back?
I don't know about that.
He wouldn't do what Dier does sometimes all the time.
Yeah, I think the aerial ability might be even worse though.
Maybe. Yeah, you're probably right.
And Højbjerg is making his own mistakes recently.
That's also true. He's made enough mistakes. To be honest, this season.
I've just seen we've got Sky Sports News in the background here, and we've seen Raul Jimenez is back on the training pitch and back, just back on the training pitch, and that's great to see, isn't it?
Yeah, good news.
Really is
That's
great
good
to
news
see.
for him. Good news for football, I think. And he's a talented striker. And the sooner he gets on the pitch, the better, I think, for everyone. It's a great story in terms of him coming back. And we've seen how it can negatively affect players firsthand with Ryan Mason, how he was forced to retire with it. So it's great that Jimenez isn't, and he's going to be back as a Premier League player.
All right, well, let's keep going. We've got some guests lined up. Jory wasn't able to come on at the end of the last game, but he's here now. How you doing, Jory?
Hey, guys. Let me just pull over here somewhere. I'm driving, actually.
No worries.
But I just wanted to call in and can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Use your indicators.
Sorry.
Don't use the phone and drive, Jory.
No, I won't. I'm pulling over now. So I had to call in because last time, as you remember, it was like 2 hours of dire grief from the fan base, and I felt that we needed a little bit of a balance in that regard. So I tried to find some positive points. I hope I did convince someone of these points, but this time around I want to kind of do the same but in reverse, like the true Nordic person that I am. We always have to balance out.
So what are your points? I think
the Delhi performance.
Sorry, Jory, your connection's quite bad. We can't hear every word you're saying.
Okay, I'm stopped now. Let's see. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's a bit better. Yeah,
that's a bit better.
Okay, so before I get into it, I also want to introduce you to a future Tottenham star. This is Jonas Rapp. He's going to be tearing it up in the 2033 season.
What position is he?
Project Harry Kane starting already.
What position stöd vill du spela, Jonas, för Tottenham? He's going to be a center. He's a Harry Kane. He's modeling himself at Harry Kane. So
Dane Scarlett can pass him the gauntlet in a few years.
Yeah, exactly. Dame Scarlett will be the veteran by then. Yeah, I think so.
Project Harry Kane. What's he doing in the back seat? Get him out and do his. You've got to do what Son's dad did. Get him to do kick-ups. 6 hours of kick-ups already.
Yeah, exactly. Have you not seen the Son documentary?
Well, he is 6 years old and he trains 4 times.
No excuse.
Wow, 4 times a week.
Wow, really? 4 times?
That's brilliant. Actually,
Fair
that's
play.
quite a lot.
And it's not me. I mean, he can't stay away from a ball. But anyway, guys, I want to get into it. I wanted to address, it's pretty obvious. Last game was great to see all the offensive play, and Dele really responded. And I mean, nobody can do Dele like Dele does. So and we definitely saw that. I want to caveat that, I still saw some of the less fortunate things about Dele's game, but I think in general, if he's motivated, he will probably improve that as well. I think for me, the way I'm looking at the club, I kind of feel like there's two sub-clubs in our clubhouse or in our dressing room, which it's the French contingent and the English contingent. And I kind of feel like Sissoko is, or as many of us expect, Jonas Pittais. Hello. Say hello. Hello.
Hello. I just
Hello.
want to let you know, by the way, just talking to your son for a second. We've just had a comment and said they've said that he's already better than Sanchez and Dier combined at centre back. So bring him in.
All right. I'll tell him that. Okay, we're buying tickets as soon as this COVID is over. Okay, guys.
Beautiful.
But I wanted to, because I feel like there's some toxic culture in our club, and we've talked about it before, and I kind of feel like Jose, this is probably one of the things that he's trying to break up. I think some of what we're seeing in terms of squad and stuff like that has to do with the trying to break up these little clubs, be it Sissoko, Aurier, maybe Oldova is in there as well, and then you have like Dele and Eric Dier and Winks and stuff in the English contingents. I think, for example, apart from Lucas and Lamela being really good at keeping possession of the ball until they keep it too long and drop it, but they're very good on the ball. We can all agree on that. That I think they're kind of like in nowhere's land in that regard. They're not in any of these kind of clubs that Jose is probably. I mean, these are political battles in the squad that a trainer also, a coach also needs to deal with, and I think Jose is winning now, actually, and I want to really give you guys a call. I think after the last game where everybody was negative, and you guys really, went really clearly, analytically over the pros and cons of Jose in and out, and really, I think you answered the fan base really well there. I think you weren't, Jose sexual or anything. You were just like going really logically through what that would entail if we were to fire him right now. Mm-hmm. And I think, to be honest, I think there must be players following us once in a while. I think this does get into the dressing room, especially now where there's nobody in the stadiums. I think they're very sensitive to what we do on social media, and I think you guys are really especially you. I mean, there are other Tottenham resources, but you're definitely leading the way, and you, by the way, you're great representatives. You're exactly almost the archetypical Spurs fans as I see them, in a good way. So I think it's important that we have these discussions, and I just wanted to give you a thanks and a call out for that.
Thank you very much. It's only down to the fans like you and other fans that call in and have these conversations with us as well that make it happen. So yeah, it's not just down to us; it's down to everyone of you out there as well, not just you, Jory, but you, Jory, and everyone else.
And it's actually interesting he says that, because Mourinho in his press conference today made reference to social media and to a specific journalist. He was talking to Jonathan Phil, and he was saying, Jonathan, I don't know if he was being sarcastic or not, but he said, a great Twitter account, great professional, you're very balanced or very fair or something, and I congratulate you on your tweets. I don't know if he was being sarcastic and he was actually having a go at Jonathan Veal or not, but I think that goes towards your point that all this stuff on social media, especially in this day and age, it definitely has an impact on the squad and on the players, and they definitely do see this kind of stuff. So I think you're absolutely spot on that.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably always important. That's the kind of generation that's playing football now, but I think it's even more important now. And just like, just to continue, I mean, to be honest, like there's another club in North London. I can't remember what it's called.
I think you mean South London, Jory.
Yeah, South London, but they're kind of they're hustling into our territory, and if you look at their fan TV, let's not mention it. I think that's quite representative of their club as well. So, I think we definitely come out pretty nicely in that comparison. But otherwise, I have to go now. I think he's getting impatient. But I wanted to add one thing, because I continue seeing the progression with or I think I imagine myself seeing the progression of Jose. And I want to say, I think I've seen Jose's 8th rule of football. You know, the 7 rules of football with all the, if you don't have the ball, you can make a mistake.
All that stuff,
so yeah. So are you ready for the 8th rule?
I'm ready.
Yeah. So it's if the attack is busy using the ball, the defense can't make a mistake.
I love it. Love it. I think we definitely implement that.
Yeah, so I think Jose is actually looking and like this is our newest plan, is more possession, like spending more time on the ball because of our weak defense. You know, I think the way we've been, and that's how he's using exactly Lucas and Lamela, is to actually get more minutes on the ball, which is very non-Jose. But you can see, like last game, I think we had over 70% possession. Of course, we were by far the better side and all that, but still, that's a high number. And I think we're probably in for something similar with Burnley now. So, and I think it's very positive, because if Jose goes there, you know, I think Jose used to be an ideologue. I think in terms of his 7 rules, nothing else. But I think now he's so much of a you know, he's older, wiser, and you know, he's kind of taking you know, he's listening a little bit to
adapting.
The yeah, adapting. Yeah, you know, as a dad myself, when I was a young dad, I just, you know, put down the law and kids, this is how it's gonna be, and this is how it is, you know. But as I get older, I take their both personalities and their comments more into my consideration. So I think we're seeing a bit of that with Jose as well.
Oh, I love that,
Jory.
Jory.
Absolutely great call once again. We got a chat here, a comment as well, says great analysis, Jory. So just want to say thank you for the call, and hope to speak to you soon.
I want weekly updates of how many goals your son is scoring.
Yeah, exactly. We need weekly updates for the Spurs Academy. That's what we need.
Well, you know, it's too many goals.
It's too many to count.
He's averaging like 10 goals a training session or something. So you know, it's but he's part of a golden generation. So you'll know about it soon enough.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We'll keep tabs on him.
Take care, guys, and keep up the great work. I think it's really important conversation you're bringing here all the time, and yeah, I'm going for, by the way, 3-0.
3-0. Yeah. All right.
Jory, always a pleasure having you on.
Sorry,
I was young.
I was going to say Bale is going to have a worldie, I think.
All right.
Right.
Come on, Jory.
Right,
now,
Jory.
that's the positivity we need.
Love it.
Big up to your son in the background as well. So yeah, thank you all.
Big up the Icelandic years as well. Come on.
So bless, Jonas. Okay, bye.
See you, Jonas. Bye, Jory. See you. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs. See you
Love
later.
It. Nice one, Jory. Cheers for coming on as always.
Great call.
Gotta love Jory. Gotta love Jory.
Let's get Charlie THFC on.
Yeah,
come on. I know
Charlie.
he was here before. Let's get him on now. Charlie,
hey
how's it going, mate? How you doing?
Yeah, good, guys. How you guys doing?
Yeah, I mean, feeling a bit more positive now. Through to the next round, the Europa League, like 16. You happy with that draw?
Yeah, I'll take that draw. I think Dinamo Zagreb, we've seen sort of, they were in the Champions League group stage last season. They lost twice to City. But they've been a team that's been in and around the Champions League. I think they've probably dropped out of it a few times, finishing third. So look, they're not going to be a walk in the park. But if you consider some of the other teams we could have got, I think they're probably a very favourable draw for us. I've seen like the rankings; they're one of the weakest sides left in the competition. So I think we should have way too much for them over 2 legs. I think, as I said, it won't be a walk in the park like it was with Wolfsberger, 8-1 over 2 legs. I don't think it will be that, but I fully expect us to get through that one. And yeah, it's a good draw for us as well, not just our draw. You look at Man United drawing AC Milan, so one of the big hitters will be knocked out. You look at even other draws like Shakhtar and Roma, one of them will go. So look, it's good for us, and hopefully if we can get past Zagreb, And then we could get either someone like Granada or Mulder in the next round, and we could potentially see sort of a pathway for us in this competition. So we got to hope we can get through this game against Zagreb, and hope, if we do, hopefully that the draw can continue to be kind to us.
Is there anyone left in this tournament that you actually fear?
I think obviously Man United, because they're the favourites. They're second in the Premier League. I think they're the main ones that I'd fear. You look at, I've said AC Milan for a while now, but obviously the good thing is one of them will be gone. So it'll be one of the favourites gone. Obviously you got Villarreal with Emery as well, who of course was at Arsenal before. Arsenal as well, look, they got very lucky yesterday. 2 goals which were offside. I don't even care. But yeah, look, obviously you have to sort of see them as one of the favourites in there. But look, I think if you look at the teams in there on our day, as long as we don't make any of these brain farts, I think we could probably beat them. We've beaten teams like Man City earlier in the season. So I think any of these teams, if we have a good day, I'd probably fancy us to beat any of these teams left in the competition, to be honest.
Yeah, Jose had his press conference about a couple of hours ago or 90 minutes ago. Had a lot to say about Dele, about Dier, about Vinicius as well. Was there any reaction to some of the stuff Mourinho was saying?
Yeah, it was interesting. I think the whole Dele thing, of course. I just have to say this: what a goal that was on Thursday, overhead kick. Honestly, I guess you could say, use the expression "rolling back the years," even though he's only 24, because it's been quite a while now since he's sort of produced moments like that. And obviously the assist as well. I think it was for Vinicius. His goal, good ball over the top. That was. I think a lot of players get that ball wrong, as I think one of you was saying on your stream, that he knows where. Because he used to sort of make those late runs into the box, he knows where the striker's sort of going to want it. So it was good intelligence from him there to pick that one out. And Bale as well, with that first time finish, just made it look easy. It really did. I was impressed with that. And I think Bale especially, I think he has to start against Burnley. I think Burnley, as we know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to come and park the bus with 2 banks of 4, and they're going to try and make it difficult for us. And I think we're going to need as much sort of creativity as we can get. And I think bringing Bale and Dele into the team, that adds sort of probably more creativity in the likes of maybe someone like Bergwijn or Mora, who Mora has been on form lately. But in terms of creativity, I'm not sure he adds that. I think going with sort of someone like him, I think pace sort of isn't the way to go for this game. I think you have to look at more players with the technical ability and the way they can pick a pass to sort of split a defence. And I think Bale and Dele can bring that. And I think they'll definitely be. I'm hopeful both of them will start. I'm not 100%. I'm sure both of them will start. I think Bale will start, but Dele, I'm not 100% sure, because I'm not sure if he'll trust both of them in the same team in a Premier League match. But as well, it will be good that we got Kane and Son rested in midweek, so they can come straight back in. Other players, Højbjerg and Ndombele as well, they'll be fresh and ready to go. So yeah, hopefully Bale and Dele get a start, because I think they definitely deserve to start this game.
You said you will. Oh, camera. You said we don't need pace. Sorry, we're still here, so you can hear us. You said we don't need pace, but would you, in that sense, consider dropping Son for this game, considering also the form he's been in? Players like Lucas and Lamela and Dele and Bell, arguably the last few games in a bit better form than him. Would that be a consideration you would look at, or do you think he has to start?
No, Son starts. I think Son, you have to start him. We know. Look, I know he's been a bit off lately. But I think we know with Son, the difference between him and someone like Lucas is that Son he needs one chance most of the time, and he can take it and he can get into those positions. So I think you have to stick with Son. I don't think there's any case to drop him whatsoever. I think you have to stick him. We know the story is him and Kane. We've been very reliant on them this season. So I think I think for me that would be out of the question to drop Son. But what I mean is not entirely get rid of pace, but like not go for sort of pace on sort of more. Look to more. Obviously, you're going to start Son because he's arguably our best player. But if you look on the other side, we know we've had that dilemma on the right wing this season. And obviously, Bale would add pace, but I think not to the extent that Lucas has. But the difference is with Bale, he'll add that sort of pass, that sort of vision that he can have. And that's why I've been calling for Bale to sort of play centrally for a lot of this season, because he doesn't have the pace he once had. And I think he still has that left foot, as we've seen recently. And he still he can still pick a pass. And that's kind of the same with Dele. I think we know the situation with Dele for for the past 3 years really now. He's sort of had a tough time, but I think if he starts him in this game, I think it will be a statement, because it shows that maybe he's sort of, because there's been myths to why Dele's sort of been left out of the squad, and some of those myths have been sort of that he's lazy in training, and we heard it in the documentary, but obviously that we haven't seen, we don't know for sure if that's still the case this season, but that's what it's sort of been assumed as, that it's lazy training. And I think if he was to start Dele, I think it would kind of show that maybe he is starting to bulk up his ideas and sort of start to sort of train harder and sort of try and earn that spot in the team. So yeah, as I said, we're just going to need to focus on players that are going to be able to open them up. Like you look at Bale and Dele, and then even Son as well. These guys can open a team like Burnley up. I think you have to look more towards that approach in this game.
How big for you is it that our fullbacks are back, Reguilon and Aurier? How big is that for us, obviously, and how much have we missed them over the past couple of weeks?
Oh, we missed both of them loads, especially Reguilon. I think I was getting sick of watching Ben Davies play for my football club. It's as simple as that, really. And it's just I know Reguilon, he wasn't great against West Ham probably because he's just come back, and obviously it was good to see him rested on Thursday. But it was just a breath of fresh air for me to see number 3 instead of number 33 at left back. And we know how good Reguilon is. I've said it since before we signed him. I saw him against Man United in the Europa League in that tournament they had, and I was very impressed with him. And yeah, I've always liked the look of him, and it will be great to have him back. Aurier as well, I do agree. I think we have missed him. I think he offers. We know Doherty's have been dreadful, quite frankly. Although he has made slight improvements lately, I feel just on the whole he's been dreadful, Doherty. And I think Aurier, we have missed him for a lot of that, because we missed sort of his directness. And we know, for me, I think it's been his best season at Spurs, Aurier, so far. I think when he first joined, I wasn't that impressed with him, sort of making clumsy challenge after clumsy challenge. But this season, yes, there's been the odd moment in there, but overall, it's been very minimal compared to what we saw before. And I'm gonna make a statement here. I actually wouldn't start Aurier on Sunday, and I'll tell you why. Because you look at Aurier, he's the type of player that he can give away stupid fouls, sort of free kicks, and we know what Burnley are going to be like from that. That's what they're going to look for. They're going to look for set pieces, free. We've seen it even when they get a free kick, sort of at the halfway line, they always lob it long. And I think that's why I wouldn't start Aurier in this one, because of that risk of sort of conceding loads of sloppy fouls and free kicks. Because look, he doesn't do it every game, but we know he has the capability to just do some silly fouls, sort of like you saw against West Ham in the 3-3, the amount of silly free kicks he was giving away. So I think that's why I wouldn't actually start Aurier for this game. And I don't know how fit he's going to be either. I'd probably start. I'd probably start Doherty, to be honest, and I'll tell because of the height. I think we need height in there. I think I'd start obviously Reguilon left back. I'd definitely start him, but I'd start Doherty on the right. But simply because of the height, I think we just need to get as much height in there for the threat that Burnley are going to pose. And you could see he did do that in the away game at Turf Moor. He dropped Aurier for that game and he brought Doherty in, and he just tried to go for as much height and physicality as possible. So yeah, obviously after this game, I want to see Aurier come back into the team 100%, because I think he's our number one right back. I think he's much better than Doherty, but that's my reason for why I wouldn't start him against Burnley.
And Charlie, before we let you go, what's your score prediction this weekend?
Look, I think we've been on a rot lately.
Don't do it to us, Charlie. Don't do it to us. I'm
going to be positive. Don't worry. But I'm just saying that I think it's important that we, because these next 3 games, we've seen all the rumours that apparently Mourinho has to save his job with these next 3 games or whatever it is, really. And I think you look at the games, Burnley, Fulham, and Palace. These are games which, for me, no excuses. As Tottenham, we should be getting 9 points, and there's no excuses for me. But the problem is, I'm not just this game. I'm not sure if I can sort of trust us to do that the way we've been playing lately. 5 losses in 6, but I think against Burnley, I know we got a 4-0 win against Wolfsburger, so hopefully that sort of lifts the mood a bit. Whatever we can get, I'll take, to be honest, in terms of lifting the mood. But I'm going to go 2-0. I think we'll get back to winning ways, and we'll get a reaction hopefully, and hopefully we'll see a convincing performance in this one. Maybe sort of rather than scraping it like 1-0 like we did away. I think I'm hoping for a convincing one, and hopefully we can get a bit of momentum. So I'm going to go 2-0. I think fingers crossed we'll keep them out, and we'll get 2-0 here. So 2-0.
All right, Charlie. Thanks a lot for coming on, mate. And,
cheers, guys.
Speak to you soon.
See you soon, guys. Cheers, guys.
See you later, mate. All right, couple more guests to go. Matthew, Bobby, then Marcelo, and then we'll finish on Rovshan. Let's go to Matthew Bobby first.
Hi, Matthew.
How's it going, Matthew?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you feeling coming into this game? You confident?
I'm kind of confident because like Bale and Dele are on form, and we just won the last game 4-0.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of confident going into every game. I keep getting disappointed.
So maybe you should be a bit more nervous. Maybe I'm hoping for. On the weekend, we got a bit of a selection headache to who we're going to start. Obviously, everyone wants Bale and Dele to start. With also Lucas and Lamella been playing well recently. Who gets the nod for you?
I think Bale and Dele should start. I wouldn't be surprised if Lo Celso is actually in the squad because Jose keeps lying about injuries and stuff.
I mean, you can never believe a word that Jose says in the press conference sometimes, can you?
Yeah, I can't actually believe him.
Yeah,
it's quite a bad connection between us, Matthew. So I'm just going to ask you for a scoreline prediction, and then we can move on because the connection's not that great.
I think it's going to end 3-1 with a Kane brace and Bale goal.
And Bale, a lot of people backing Bale to score on the weekend.
Right, there you have it. Matthew, thank you so much, mate.
Thanks, Matthew.
Have
you on soon. Cheers for coming on, mate.
All
right, let's get
time.
I can see him in the back. He's getting ready. He's getting limbered up. He's getting warmed up. He's hyping up. The hype guy. The hype man.
And, he deserves a proper intro as
The
well. He needs some intro
supreme.
music. He needs it all.
Yeah, he needs some WWE wrestling intro music or something.
Bum, bum.
He'll do it himself.
Come on, man. Come on. Let's go. What am I hearing, bro? Why are these men not confident? I know the form has not been bad. I know the form has been bad, but come on. These men are Burnley, bro. We got Sonaldo. You know what Sonaldo done to these men? Every time Sonaldo played these men, he scored, all right? So I'm telling you, there's no way we're going to lose to Burnley, bro. We're going to go out there, especially at home. We're going to smash these men. We're going to smash these men, bro. Easy peasy. And as far as it goes, with this whole thing, Jose needs to, save his job. Bro, look, come on. Palace are tough teams, Fulham are tough teams, but for me, I think he's putting all the eggs in the Europa basket, if you know what I mean, man. Like he seems to be playing the stronger lineups against Europa. He seems like, for me, like it's silly to even have this talk. And honestly, I'm ashamed at Levy. I think the fact that there's these rumors of him talking with other managers. You got to give the manager hope. And if you want the manager to get the results, you got to at least back him and trust him. Like that just goes to show like some. Like, I don't know, man. That's some backstabbing moves, if you know what I mean. But I'm not surprised with this board. But look, Jose's gonna turn it around. We got Dynamo, whatever their name are. I can't even say it, bro. The club that Modric came in. That's all I'm gonna refer to them as. And we're gonna smash them. We're gonna get into the quarterfinals, bro. And the good thing is that I looked in the Europa League. I woke up and I just looked at the Europa League. Milan and United are gonna be playing one another. So one of them are going to knock out one another. So that's some great news, man. So for me, I'm looking at this Europa list, and a lot of big teams have been knocked out. So if I'm Jose, honestly, I'm telling you, the Premier League is so tough right now that we have a better chance at winning Europa than getting top 4. Just how good the Premier League is.
Is there anyone in this competition that you actually fear?
In Europa League?
Yeah.
Honestly, it was United and Milan, really. There were the 2 teams where I'm like, ooh, like we're gonna really have to be in our A game if we're gonna beat those 2 teams. Like we're gonna have to be in our A game to beat those. But honestly, the fact that like that isn't happening. Like the fact that they're gonna knock one another out, that's a big boost for us in the competition because Woolwich, they're probably gonna lose to Olympiacos. Let's be real here. Again, and if they don't, like we'll smash them up. Honestly, Ajax, they have PTSD against us. They'll get jittery. They'll probably crumble before they even play us. And the rest. I mean, honestly, Roma.
Teams like Villarreal and Roma, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Villarreal and Roma. Even Granada is a good Spanish team.
The return of Bobby Soldado. You know how that's gonna end.
Yeah,
you
bro.
know exactly how that's gonna end.
Yeah, that's true, man. So those teams are pretty good, but I still am confident we'll beat them. Roma a little bit tougher. I think we could beat Villarreal, but listen, that competition is for us to win, and we're in the League Cup final. You got to give the manager time, but look, it's Burnley this weekend, so let's talk about Burnley. And as far as that, I think we need to start Dele Alli and Bale. I think we have to, man. We're missing that number 10 role. We're missing that Dele Alli role. We're missing goals from the midfield. It's always Son and Kane. We're missing goal scorers. That's what we're missing. Because when Son and Kane, they don't. Let's be real. They were overperforming this season. The XGs. You saw everything. Like they were over. Like Sonaldo is not falling off, man. He was just overperforming this season, and we're just expecting him to score game in, game out. I think his performances have been good. I think his performance against West Ham was pretty bad, but I think most of his performances have been, he's been excellent. But I think we just rely on Son and Kane way too much, and we need some other goal scorers. We need some guys with bite, you know what I mean? Like Bale, Dele. We need to get those guys that they're gonna threaten Burnley, So
Marcelo, run me through your predicted lineup on the weekend. Who do you think should start?
I think I want to see. Okay, so obviously Reguilon, right? The Spanish acquisition, dynamite kid, love him. Then I actually want to see Jaffet to gangsta, baby. You know what I mean? The GOAT. I want to see him at center back alongside with Toby. I think Toby has to start these games. I know overplaying him could be dangerous, but I feel like he's got enough rest that he should be able to play against Burnley. And then on the right-hand side, I think Charlie made a fair point about Aurier. He is a player where if he isn't warmed up, he does make mistakes. He kind of needs a couple of game time to warm up. And considering this is a must-win game, because don't get it twisted, guys, this is a must-win game.
Agreed.
It'll be embarrassing if we lose to Burnley at home, and it'll be embarrassing for the table. So I think I'll start Doherty. I think I gotta agree with Charlie over here. Doherty for the height. He's been warmed up. He's played games, so he'll be likely to make less mistakes. And as far as Doherty goes, he hasn't been that bad, but it's just going forward that's been really shocking. His passing, his quality.
Is you and Charlie picking Doherty? Is that a testament to how he's picked up a tiny bit over recent weeks?
He has looked better, I think, defensively. I think defensively, most of all, he has actually looked pretty solid. I can't remember like a time where I'm like, Doherty, what an idiotic mistake. He's actually looked pretty decent, but I think Doherty has, he's definitely picked up. I gotta agree. I think his passing and his crossing needs to pick up, though. I think that's where it's lacking is his offensive. I think we miss that on the right-hand side when Aurier isn't playing, but considering Burnley, they have a lot of Vikings in there, bro. We need a Viking ourselves, so let's get Matt Doherty. I know he's from Ireland, so I guess he'd be a Gaelic warrior or something like that. So, so we need someone. We need someone of that type. But and then in the midfield, you got the general, you got Endon Baller, and I'll go with Dele. We need a little bit of, we need a flair. We're missing some flair in that midfield, and we need Dele Alli back. And Endon Baller, he's got the dribbling, but just doesn't have that killer pass, that Dele has. Doesn't have that cut through edge that Dele has. And obviously Gareth Wales, Gareth Bale on the right side. I think he has to start. Stevie B's been letting me down, man. I've been backing the guy, but it just hasn't been his season. So I'll go with Gareth Bale, Kane, the chosen one of our own in the middle, and Sonaldo on the left-hand side. And we should be winning. With that lineup, that should be a 3-0 win. I'm telling you. We got so much firepower.
Going for 3-0. Sim's going for 3-0 as well.
I'm going for 3-0. If we go with that lineup, we go brave and we go strong, man, we should be battering these guys. This is Burnley, bro. Come on, we're Tottenham Hotspurs. I know things go bad, but when you spread this negativity and you spread the disbelief, it also spreads around the team. Believe it or not, it does. They read this stuff on Twitter. So when they see doubt, that doubt also creeps up in their head. So we gotta be mentally strong as a team. I mean, as a fan base, not a team, as a fan base. We need to be mentally strong as a fan base, and we gotta go there brave, man. And we're gonna slap these guys. I'm telling you. And then we're gonna go on a 3-win streak. Dynamo is next, and then after Dynamo, after we beat those guys, we're gonna smash Woolwich. So it's gonna be easy peasy. The form will turn around, guys. I know this is a tough time, but it has to turn around at one point. And I think Jose is putting his eggs all on Europa. So just be patient, wait until the end of the season, because I think there's some good stuff that's gonna happen.
All right, so you heard it here first. Stay positive, stay confident. Let's go for the 3 points this weekend. Marcelo is going 3-0. Thanks a lot for coming on, man.
Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. Come on.
Love it.
You're
Love
awesome,
it, Marcelo.
Thanks for coming on.
Come on. See you in a bit.
All right, and
Rovshan.
let's finish off with Rovshan. How you doing, Rovshan?
Thank you. Fine, and you? How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. What are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I don't want to be fake positive, but I just don't want to be negative. But first, I'm happy with the draw. I want to say that all the draws that have been just draw. About Burnley game. When you look at them, they're not that strong team, but we cannot underestimate them. They have some quality players. I think Dele maybe cannot start. Yeah, when you look at Wolfsburger game, he showed great performance really, but in the end of the day, it's good for his confidence. But I want to see great individual performances against big teams also. So I'm a big Lo Celso fan. So if Lo Celso returns, I don't want Dele actually to start. I really like him also, but maybe can come off the bench and make an impact. But when Lo Celso returns, I prefer Lo Celso over Lamela and Dele in that position. I think Bale will start, and I really want him to start. And I just more than 3 points. Yeah, I really want 3 points. That's no doubt. But more than 3 points, I just really want great individual performances from Kane, Son, Højbjerg. Recently, they're not showing just great performances. Kane, Son cannot score. Højbjerg and Dombel making mistakes. I don't rely on Eric Dier or Davinson Sanchez if one of them is going to start. But other than that, I believe all. And I don't want to be fake positive again. My score prediction, if you ask, I just say 1-0 to Spurs.
1-0.
Yeah, they are so defensive team, and I think Harry Kane is going to score. I hope, because I just want him to win the golden. I don't want Salah winning the third golden boot for the third time. Harry Kane is a Premier League man, so I want him to win that golden boot. So every time I will say Harry Kane gonna score, no doubt about it. We have 3 games of like Burnley, Fulham, Palace, or just Burnley, Fulham, maybe Zagreb. But just let's say so. Our next 6 games are big games, really. 2 of them Europa League, 4 of them Premier League, 1 of them Derby. If we win that 6 games, if we win all that 6 games, that means we turned that season really. Just the season depends on these 6 games. I really want 6 wins over the 6 games. I don't believe, unfortunately. Yeah.
You don't believe? What is it stopping you from believing?
Let's not say I don't believe, but when I see our Premier League form, that makes me sad, really, because we show great performance at Europa League, but we cannot compare with Wolfsburger. Wolfsburger is just so weak, not so weak team, but the squad is just so different. We won them with our second squad. I hope. Unfortunately, I don't believe we are going to win all of them. week we will get draws, I think. Yeah, but I hope, always, I hope. Let's see. But that 6 games is just the games for the season. And I'm really I feel happy for Leicester being eliminated, and just Manchester United, Milan will play against each other. I am really happy for that also. And I think, I hope Arsenal will be eliminated. I don't believe so. They were lucky yesterday. Yeah, I think I'm just how to say, I just keen on to Europa League more than Premier League. I really want that Europa League. First of all, it's trophy. Second, it's Champions League, and we go to Super Cup. It's great tournament actually for us. Yeah.
All right, Rovshan,
Nice one,
absolute
Rovshan.
great view. Thanks for coming on, my friend.
That's all my opinions.
And yeah, we'll speak soon, Rovshan. Have a good weekend, and come on, you Spurs.
See you, and you too. Come on, you Spurs.
Come
on, mate.
Come on.
All right, that is the end of the live stream, guys. Thank you so much, everyone that tuned in. Thank you, everyone that called in as well. We'll see you again for another live stream on Sunday, 2 o'clock kickoff, Tottenham against Burnley. And then obviously it'll be the post-match fan show directly after, when it is your chance to have your say. Gold members, your link will be in the community section about 5 minutes after the end of the final whistle of the game. Hopefully we'll see all your smiley faces talking about a brilliant performance and a brilliant 3 points, and we'll be eating samosas, as Josh says. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.